gangster.
Yeah.
What the heck, man?
I went to jail for 3 weeks. I took a dustbin and covered his head and then take the broom and just like whack him. I think that guy, he gotten like internal bleeding. I lost $27,000. So heartbroken, I was at my rock bottom. How can you do this to us and everything? You scam my money already. You still want to call me a loser. I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna be the best. Traders in Singapore, I was down like what, 9% on one single trade.
That's a few million.
$1.8 million just vanished. I wiped out, I would say, a good 80% of my entire assets. It just came out from my pocket. At that point of time, I have two choices, right? The first year, first 2 years, you really have to grind hard. You really have to find a trading style, a trading strategy that work for you. Subsequent years is going to be easier and easier. So don't give up.
Hey guys, welcome to our Modern Wealth podcast. We aim to empower, enrich, and evolve your lives. Today, we have a very, very special guest. He's one of our very few invited speakers to our Next Gen Wealth Retreat. This was very early on in Bali, I remember. I think I think it was our second retreat ever that we actually did, right? Nearly about 3 years ago. And you know, we've been friends for a long time. We met each other in the gym, right? So today I'm very happy to have Wei Xiang, right, with us.
Hey everyone.
His expertise is in forex trading, right, and has a very, very accomplished young trader himself. He managed to actually build a fund with an AUM, with assets under management of over $70 million, guys, right? So this is a guy who's managing multiple eight figures, right? Absolutely amazing, right? So today I'm gonna be dissecting his brain. I'm gonna be asking him about trading strategies. I'm gonna be asking him about how he trades the markets, what are some of his outlooks and forecasts with regards to the market. It's gonna be very, very exciting. So I want you all to pay attention, man, because you're gonna get a lot from this episode. But again, before we begin, I just want to share a very quick disclaimer. Everything that we're about to share, we are sharing based off our own personal opinion and based off our own personal, prejudice, right? Nothing that is said is meant to be taken as financial advice. So please do your own due diligence before you make any financial moves yourself. This is not meant to be financial advice. If that is done, let's get right back into the episode.
Let's go.
Wei Xiang.
Yes, sir.
Bro, dude, honestly speaking,
yes.
your initial story,
Yeah.
gangster,
Yeah.
what the heck, man? Sorry. Like, I know the story, but I want him to tell the story, right?
Right.
Like, secondary school, rebel, bro, I don't know, smoke, go to jail, don't go to jail.
Yep.
I
went to jail for 3 weeks.
Shit, went to jail, he's like a convict and shit, and then turned his life around, okay, bro, please share that, bro. Give them a bit of juice and background of who you were.
Wow. You guys are in for a treat. No, so I think, it was when I was like, 13, 14 years old, I started smoking, right? Joining, street gangs and everything. I think I was expelled from school twice, right? Not once, it's twice, right? I think, I mean, I'm not really that proud. I mean, thinking back, I think it's like quite funny, right? I got expelled twice. Like, who the hell get expelled from school twice, right? I think the first time was I was like secondary 1 and stuff, and then of course the guy tried to bully me and stuff, and of course what I did was I took a dustbin. I took a dustbin and cover his head and then take the broom. And then just like whack him, right? So that was one time they got expelled. I think the second time they got expelled, I think was a fight basically outside school wearing school uniform. I think that guy, he gotten like internal bleeding. I think he was like slapping my ex-girlfriend in the canteen and stuff, right? It was crazy, I was very, very angry. As a young teen, with lots of hormones raging inside my body. I was absolutely energetic and trying to show the alpha side, right? So I've been expelled in and out, and of course suspended from school as well. So I've been I started work very, very early. When I was 14 years old, I was working in Jurong Fishery Port, right? Getting getting the fish packed, with ice and styrofoam box and loading them up to the lorry. It was crazy. You got to be there by 5 a.m., 5:30 maximum, right? And of course, we will deliver, fishes.
You never was go school, bro.
No, bro. I was suspended.
Okay.
So I was suspended. So there was this one principal. Wow.
What?
She suspend me indefinitely, right, for 3 months. Right, she's trying to ruin my life, right? If you're watching this, you better be proud of where I am now. Right? So 3 months, right? 3 months. 3 months I've been in indefinite suspension, right? So she didn't give me, it's a female principal. She didn't give me a definite term for my suspension, right? Because she labeled me as a school terrorist, right? And then of course, until my mom have to call the school and say, hey, when are you going to suspend my son until? And then finally, she complained to MOM, and then finally she said, okay, you have been expelled. I was like, what? I could have not wasted 3 months of my time.
Sure.
And then just find a new school, right?
Yeah.
And then of course, so I was, early teenagers days, I was working in Jurong Fishing Port. I've done many odd jobs. I've been a server. I've been in probably in sometimes. Probably you might also see me in IT shows, Expo, Suntec, whatever. So many different jobs. Probably I might even serve some of you in restaurants and hotels for your weddings, probably.
Wow.
Right. And then of course I've it's just really hard work, and of course saving money. When I was in my early days as a teenager. And then of course moving forward, it was kind of like. When after I got accepted to my third school, which is the school that I graduated from,
Yeah.
right? I was, after school I was, doing part-time jobs as well, working in yogurt shops, yogurt ice cream. I wouldn't name the yogurt shop, but yeah, working in yogurt ice cream shops. So I've been saving up for quite some time. And then of course I graduated from ITE. ITE, I think I was in this traineeship program. Actually, it was quite a good initiative. So basically, you get the same cert, you get the same NITEC cert, but just that you get to work.
Okay.
Right, and you get a traineeship certificate as well.
Sure.
So I've been working. I've worked at an accounting firm for 2 years.
Okay.
And then of course, then NS. So NS was the point of time. I think doing IT was a point of time, right? Apple stocks, right? Apple stocks was so easy to trade. So I was trading binary options. That's how I started trading, right? So about 1 month before the speculated date of Apple iPhone release, right, I would usually just buy Apple stocks, right? So I just buy Apple stocks when the hype isn't there yet. So it's now I think everyone knows that Apple usually release the iPhones somewhere around September, August or September. So I think by July-ish, mid-July, I would start to buy Apple stocks, and then of course that's how I made money, right? During my IT days. And then of course, when I was I got enlisted, went to the Navy, came out, got my first job. So my first job, I was sales executive, right? Corporate sales executive for Singapore Mint, right? For those of you who don't know, Singapore Mint is where they mint the coins. The Singapore coins. So I was a corporate sales, but of course they not only mint coins, right? So they have like gold coins, gold medallions, and stuff. So I was the corporate sales executive. That job lasted 3 months, right? And of course I was constantly in smoking and stuff with the CEO, right? And then during one day he told me, he said, "Hey Wei Xiang, you are not suitable for corporate. I think you can be your own boss." So after that, I was like wondering, it's like, hey, are you trying to fire me or do you mean it? He said, no, I really mean it. Now, because here's the thing, when there's a lot of corporate politics, right? When there's a problem, you cannot say who is causing the problem. You have to be really indirect. So that job lasted me 3 months. After 3 months, I just throw a letter. I just shit, I'm out. Am I supposed to
It's fine, bro. It's fine. We will probably do that.
Yeah, bro. So I was like, I'm out lah. So, then of course, at the point of time I was with this ex-girlfriend, right? Oh yes. Oh sorry. Sorry, cut back to IT part, right? IT part. So now the case of when I went to prison, right? I think that was very, very interesting. So the case actually dragged for almost 1 year, right? I think it was a case back in my secondary school, right? It was basically a fighting case, fighting. It was voluntary causing grievous hurt, and of course criminal intimidation. I don't know why they call it criminal intimidation. I think I mean that's how the law is, lah. So I was in prison for 3 weeks. Luckily, I didn't go to RTC. RTC is 24 months. Because for anyone, I think below the age of 21 years old, you can go to RTC. So I got a lawyer, and then of course got 3 weeks in. It was what we call the remand. If I'm not wrong, it was a cluster B block 2. If my memory didn't fade me. During my time in prison, I met like so many different people. Right? It's like crazy. Right? I was sleeping beside a murderer. Right? This guy. I wouldn't want to go into the details, but he's a very, very famous uncle, grandpa. He killed his daughter-in-law because his daughter-in-law was bullying him. Right? So I was sleeping beside him. It was crazy. In prison, right? Or it was like. Everything is so regimental and structured, right? There's time to sleep, there's time to go out to the yard, there's time to eat and everything, right? And of course, you don't eat in that specific time, right? Everything, they'll just clear your plates and everything. So I think life in Singapore prison, it's manageable. It's manageable. But of course, I probably am lucky because the first day I walked into prison, I haven't even go to my cell, no. I heard people calling me, They say, hey, I say, hey, you are here. They say, hey, bro, I'm here also, bro. Hey, why you here? And so it's like all those kind of gangster friends, lah. So it's like, hey, it's been so long since I've seen you. Oh, you are in prison. No wonder I didn't see you, right? So it's like I was well taken care of in prison. Sure. I had friends back in prison. So it was manageable, and I think the only struggle was that you suddenly you have the lack of freedom, and of course you miss your family or your loved ones.
But 3 weeks you're out, lah.
3 weeks I'm out.
Okay.
Well, but 3 weeks is good enough for an experience.
Sure.
3 weeks is good enough. Yeah. You don't want to do 3 years, bro.
Sure.
You don't want to do 3 years.
You don't do any time, but
wait, bro. Because the prison, right, they give you like these really, really hard slippers, plastic hard slippers, right?
Okay.
Well, when I first stepped out of prison, right, I was released from court, right, and then of course my mom was there, right. She brought me my slippers, right, the one with rubber and cushion, right. Well, it feels like heaven, bro.
Serious, huh?
It feels like heaven.
Wow.
Because everything is hard. There is no cushion, nothing in the prison. Just hard floors, hard slippers, and everything is hard, right. And then of course we took a taxi back. So when I go on the taxi, right, because there's no aircon in prison, of course, right. So when I sit the taxi, right, I was like, whoa, it feels like heaven, bro. Like sometimes the things that we take for granted, right, cushions and stuff, right. And after 3 weeks, when you finally have cushion, right, oh, it feels like heaven. I was like, wow. It's like I don't even remember, taxi, those yellow color taxi being so comfortable. Sure. I was like, what is this like? Oh, I'm like floating on a cloud, man. And it was a good experience, and of course it was a good wake up call. Yep. And then of course, back to when after I quit my job, we have I have this ex-girlfriend of mine. So after her mom is the founder of a MLM company. So she was doing partnering with her boyfriend, my girlfriend's mom's boyfriend. Yeah, so she was partnering with her boyfriend to do this forex course / MLM investing thing, right? And then of course what happened was that I think everyone lost money in the MLM. So basically you join a course, and then of course if you get people in, of course they'll give you rebates or rewards or commission or stuff and things like that. But of course you're strongly not encouraged to withdraw your money or to withdraw your commissions, right? So of course they will say that we're going to invest it for you, right? We're gonna keep the money and we're going to invest it for you, and then of course you know what they do. So it went on for a few months. One fine day, everything just poof. They become a ghost, right? I think the last I heard, she was in China. She's in China right now, hiding and everything. I'm not too sure, just rumors, right? So everyone's money is gone. Everyone lost money. It's just basically a ton of shit show. Even the brokers is fake. The brokers where we are supposed to deposit the money into, they're fake. They're just a white paper broker. So for those of you who don't know, white paper broker is a broker that have the name. It's connected to a legit trading platform, but it's probably the broker is not properly licensed, right? It's just a name using a platform or a trading platform kind of interface, right? And of course, so broker is fake. Money is gone. I lost $27,000 US dollars, saved up, all the way from my younger days in working and stuff. So heartbroken, broke up with my ex-girlfriend, lost money, ultimate like bedrock, like literally nothing is worse than that. I mean probably in touch wood, right? Something can be worse than that. But at that point of time, I feel that I was at my like rock bottom.
How old were you then?
At that point of time, I was 21 years old, 20 years old.
Okay.
20 years old, yeah, 20 years old.
Okay.
So I was at my rock bottom, right? So, and then on top of that, because I keep spamming my ex-girlfriend's mother, because I mean she's the owner of the company, right? Okay. I was like, how can you do this to us and everything? I want my money back and everything. And then you know what she say? She say, in Chinese, I'm just gonna translate it, right? She said this exactly, all right? People with your thinking will never make it in life. You will always be a loser. You will always fail and be always you will always fail and be a loser. So this is exactly what she says. So in Chinese it says 像你这种思维的人，你这一辈子不可能成功了，你就是一个 lose 失败者。But she say lose lah. I mean her English is not that good. Sure. I mean she's like I wanted to correct her. Auntie, it's loser. It's not lose. but I mean it was this whole thing that happened. I think the most angry part is why you scam my money already. You still want to call me a loser and you say that I will never make it in life. I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna prove everyone wrong. I'm going to prove, I'm going to do it for myself, but I'm going to show it to you that, hey, I'm going to be the best, right? I'm going to be the best, or if not, one of the best traders in Singapore, or if not, probably Southeast Asia. And then, of course, I started trading, getting in, first thing first, it was, to just forget everything. So I forget everything that have ever been taught to me. So I just go into the basics, right? What is, how to read the price, how do you execute a trade, these are all the basic stuff. So, and of course, it really took me many years, probably not many years, probably like one and a half years ish, to kind of backtest, finding out, which strategy works for me, what works and what doesn't work. I mean, I always have this saying, right? Find out what works and keep doing it, and find out what doesn't work and stop doing it. And it's so simple, right? It's basically the whole success formula. Yes, the whole success formula. But of course, it's the process of finding out what works that is hard, right? And most people will fail because it's so time consuming. So at the point of time, when I began to craft out my strategy, right, I was sleeping like 4 hours a day, right? I don't even set alarms. I was like sleep, and after I was like, oh shit, I need to come out. I need to wake up. I need to work, right? So I had this I had like spreadsheets and spreadsheets of backtesting, historical data, 10 years worth of data, right? On 28 different assets, right? To see if this strategy works, if this strategy doesn't work, will this strategy works in lower volatility assets, or will this strategy only works for higher volatility assets? So these are the things that I tested out rigorously, right? And of course, I have to say that when I first started out, it was it was crazy. It was crazy. I started out with $1,000. So can you imagine? I was broke. I have $1,000. So what I do is, let's say for example, I make a 5% profit in a week, right? So that's like $50. I would withdraw $25 and keep $25, right? So the $25 will be used to last my one whole week.
Wow.
Right? So I would, I mean, sometimes if I make more money, I would probably buy chicken rice, buy economy rice. Sometimes if it's down, probably just buy bread. Right? If I'm not making that much, I'll probably just buy bread.
Okay.
So that's how I survived. Now, I have not been taking pocket money since the age of 14, right? Because I've been working, right? So I mean, yeah, my parents did want to support me and everything, but you know, I mean, ultimately, I mean, I had this conviction that, you know, it's my life, and I have to be responsible for my life. Right? If I'm not responsible for my life, no one is responsible for my life. Right? Yes, your parents can bring you into this world, but it's up to you to really kind of find your success route. And of course, finally, I hit $2,000. Wow, when I hit the $2,000, wow, I feel like a milestone,
Sure.
right? $2,000. So 1,000 to 2,000, that's 100%, right? Within a few months, you know, I hit $2,000. At the point of time, I was risking about 3% risk per trade. I still remember the day when I hit the $2,000. I was like, yes, finally I can eat, you know, 2 chicken rice instead of 1 chicken rice.
Sure.
Right? because you know, probably once a week I eat, or probably, you know, once a week I eat maximum 2 chicken rice, right? Now, after I get $2,000, I can eat 4 chicken rice. So I can see that, you know, my life is slowly getting better and better. Within a few months, so within probably like 1 year, my account grew from 1,000 to about, if I'm not wrong, it's about 12,000-ish kind of thing. And that's where I began coaching, right, on my second year of trading. So that's where I began coaching. So at age 21-ish, kind of mid-age 21, I began coaching, I began, you know, mentoring people, and I was doing it for free, bro. I was really doing it for free. But of course, you know, at the point of time, I haven't built a name. I was like, you know, people was like, you know, who is this guy? Why should I learn from just anyone, right? And then of course, you know, I was doing it completely for free. I think I have this group chat. It was many years ago. I think it's still active. I still can see people still typing in right now in the group chat, right, sending messages and stuff. So this group chat is about 80 packs only. And of course, sometimes I share, you know, analysis and, you know, in my early days of trading. Yeah, so at that point of time, it was just coaching for free, and then of course, slowly I began charging people for money, right? Because I realized something. If I coach for free, people, nobody would pay attention. But once I start charging money, then, because, you know, they will start to pay attention. So yeah, so I started coaching. I started my coaching business and stuff. Starting was quite slow and stuff, but eventually it picked up. And of course, I also got into fund management. So I actually met my first investor at a coffee shop. Yeah, I mean, he was eating at the same coffee shop as me regularly, right? And of course, I think because every day we see each other, right? You know, we say hi and everything. After that, slowly we became close. He turns out he is into F&B as well. He have 70 F&B stalls. I'm not going to say what F&B stalls he have, but he have 70 stalls, F&B stalls all across Singapore. One of the very popular F&B brands out there. So he's the first one who invested money in me, because he saw my hard work. He saw that, you know, I'm getting results. So my first investment was about $300,000, and then of course he slowly got. I think within a few months, I think he brought me to meet 2 of his other friends, which got in $200 and $200 each. So within the first year, my total assets under management was $700,000. Right, during that point of time, I was like over the moon. Right? Imagine trading, you know, $20,000, and then you have $700,000 coming to you, you know, as capital to trade. Right, so I was over the moon. So then, of course, I think over the years, you know, as you know, my business grows and expands and everything, you know, I've met people. I've met really powerful people. You know, even some of them even politicians, right? And I would say, yeah, what I call them, politicians? Yeah, politicians, right? Politicians from different countries. I've met businessmen. It's just really on the high net worth, ultra high net worth kind of level of spectrum. And of course, I got involved with auctions. I got involved with private events. I got involved with so many things that really expose. And of course, I really have to thank my first ever investor that really believed in me. I think he was the first one who really bring me out to see the world, right, and see how the high society is living, where the high society hangs out, and a lot of all these events, they are by invite only. So it's really hard for the everyday people to really get in. And of course, it's kind of like the movies, right? People are saying that there's this like secret high society organizations. I think there is many high society organizations, just in Singapore, right? There is not just one place that everyone meets together. Probably in F1, but let's say, for example, if there are selected groups, right? They are in small little groups here and there, and that makes it so much harder, right? For people who wants to raise funds, people who want to get in touch or get connected or rub shoulders with the high society. Then of course, slowly, as time goes by, we expanded. I expanded, not just in Singapore. We got investors coming from China, got investors coming from Bangkok, so on and so forth. So we expanded. Right now, my assets under management is currently $70 million, and it's just a solo operations from now.
Oh wow!
I mean, over the years, I did have some stuff, but it was they weren't doing a good job.
I see.
They weren't doing a good job, so had to fire them.
Okay.
And then after I was thinking, if I want to do something good, I have to do it myself.
Sure.
Right? I cannot rely on anyone else to do it. Yeah. So this is kind of how I grew. I think when I met you, right? When I met you at Gravity, my assets under management, I think, was like 28 or 36,000 only. 28 or 36 million dollars only. I think it was 3 years back. Yeah, so we actually expanded and grew steps. I think almost 2 times.
Wow.
In 3 years.
Amazing. What about the rate return and everything, bro?
Well, so conservatively, I would put my my performance at about 60% a year, which of course now 60% a year, it's not a lot of money, right? But I think people have to understand that, it's easy to grow, 1K to 10K, right? But it's another story to grow from 1K to $70 million. And of course, the bigger the assets under management, the bigger the assets under management, the more conservative you have to be in terms of risk.
Yep.
So for every trade, right now, I'm risking only 0.01%. Right? No, 0.01. No, 0.1%, sorry.
Yep.
0.1% risk per trade.
Okay.
Right? So 0.1% risk per trade. Now, how many trades does it take you to lose all your entire account?
It's crazy.
1,000 trades. Right? 1,000 trades. Right? Now, is it possible? Yes, it's definitely possible, right? But of course, you would have to hit a really string of bad luck. Probably you need to go to the temple to pray, right? To if you hit 1,000, if you even hit 100 trades losses in a row, right? I think you better go to the temple already.
Sure.
Right. So I created a system, right, where it is so conservative, yet profitable, and of course, it really fits the appetite of most of my investors. Of course, some of my investors say, "Hey, can I increase my risk?" I'll say no, because if you increase your risk, that's increased pressure on me, right? Now, I think everyone have a bandwidth, right, on how much they can manage, right? Of course, I didn't grow. If right now, I were to say, hey, if I were to get a random person, right, and say, hey, I'm going to give you $70 million. Well, the person also was stressed, man. The person also probably
of course, for sure.
Right. So, I mean, I'm glad that I built it up gradually, getting used to big amount of money. I think one of the tips that I can give, right, for anyone who is growing their account, right, yes, 1,000 to 10,000 is quite easy to grow, right? But
how would you do that?
Okay, so now with a $1,000 account, right? I think I would probably be taking 2 to 3% risk.
Okay.
I wouldn't be taking 0.1%
Of
risk.
course, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
because it's quite slow.
Okay.
Slow growth. So 2 to 3% risk. So 2 to 3% risk. Let's say you win probably about 5 trades a week, right? So they will give you already 15%, right? 15% compounded. Within probably a few months, you would probably hit at least 2-3x.
What kind of instruments would you trade? And so again, you're saying you risk 2-3% of $1,000, for example. And what kind of instruments and what kind of time frame are you trading at?
Well, I trade on the 4-hour time frame. I don't like scalping. Now because the scalping, it requires me to be on the screen and the charts. Most of my time of the day. I try on a H4 time frame, right? 4-hour time frame. Basically, I just set buy, sell, limit orders at key levels. All right, key levels is basically the break and retest levels, support resistance levels. This is what I call the key levels. So I just set buy, limit, sell, limit orders, right? And then just close my laptop and then just call it a day, right? So, but of course, it's not easy for traders to not be attached to the trade, because I think it's all money that we're talking about, right? People, when it comes to money, right? It really pulls the emotions and really pull the heartstrings of people.
Yep.
Right. I would say a lot of new traders, they can't balance their fear and greed emotions. Right.
Yep,
They can't balance these kind of emotions. So that's why having a risk management system is really important, because now when you know how much you want to risk, right? When you know how much you are risking, then you can be prepared for the loss.
Of course.
Right. If you don't know how much you're risking, you didn't do your risk management plan properly, right? Then of course you don't know how much you're risking, right? Then of course when the loss happens, that's where the emotions comes in.
So you get very scared, huh?
Yes. I mean, yeah, there'll be there's all sorts of emotions. So there might be anger, there might be fear, there might be greed. All these emotions mixed together. What's going to happen next? They're going to revenge trade. Right, so they revenge trade. They're going to say, hey, I lost this one trade. I'm going to take a revenge on another trade, and then of course I'm going to make it back, right? And then of course they will keep revenge trading until they blow up their account, right? So I think this is I've done it before. Not proud of it, but I think almost 99% of all traders blow up their account before. And I think for those traders who blow up their account, right, I would say it's normal lah. Everyone go through that route. You as a trader, right? Have you ever blow your account before?
Once, yes.
Yes, of course. At least once, right? At least once. So I believe every single trader, they will blow up their account, and it's normal. So I think a lot of traders, they blow up their account and they feel like is trading like right for me, or should I continue trading? I would say don't give up. Don't give up on trading. I think trading is one of the hardest. It's one of the hardest job that you can ask for, right? But of course, it's also very rewarding. Now, you can say that there are other hard jobs. Yes, I understand. There's like hard labors. But now, what is the most hardest thing to control? Is actually your mind and your emotions. Yeah, because you're fighting with yourself every single day that you're trading, right? You're fighting with yourself. You're trying to control your fear, your greed, your emotions, and everything every single day that you're trading. If you risk 10%, then you just got to do the math, right? If you risk 10%, it just takes 10 trades loss in a row, and then you just blow up your account, right? So 10 times 10, that's 100%, right? So of course, if you risk 3%, yes, 3% is still a very, very high risk. I would say it's super high risk. I use 3% to grow accounts. I don't use 3% to continue making money, right? As a long-term kind of risk management plan. So 3%, if you want to grow your account, 2 to 3%, I would say it's good to grow your account. And of course, you have to lower down your risk, percentage risk per trade, right? As your account grows bigger and bigger. So 25. By probably at 25,000, you probably can lower it down to like 2%. Once you hit 50,000, you can lower it to 1.5%. 100K, you can lower it down to 1%, and so on and so on. Always keep reducing your risk as your capital grows.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see. Amazing. Bro, so again, in terms of instruments, is there some things that some certain pairs that you focus on?
Yeah.
What pairs do you focus on? What pairs do you avoid trading?
Okay, so now I avoid trading the Australian dollars, right? Especially when the base Australian dollars lah. So we have AUD, XXX, right? AUD with another currency pair. Australian dollars, they are quite slow, I would say. So Australian dollars, I would really avoid trading for now. I think for the longest time, I think for a few years really, Australian dollars has been quite stagnant, right? Then of course the I would say my most profitable asset, right, is actually GBP, JPY, and gold, right? So gold, I mean, gold is a no-brainer, right? Gold is a no-brainer. Since the beginning of time, gold prices has been going up, right? Gold is so easy to trade that you just need to find a dip, buy it, hold it, make profits. That's it. If it dips some more, just buy the dip, right? Gold, I mean, it's not financial advice, but gold, historically speaking, gold is historically speaking, gold is going to increase in value over time. I mean, we have gold have a really strong track record of hundreds of years probably, right? That is going to that is going to increase in value, right? So gold is one. GBP JPY is also another one. I really love the swings on GBP JPY. That's the Great Britain pounds versus the Japanese yen, right? So GBP JPY is really solid, right? I love the volatility on that, and of course it respects price action a lot.
I see.
Yeah.
So this particular pairs you really like as well, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. What's your views on digital gold, right, in regards to BTC itself?
I'm really bullish. I'm a crypto enthusiast as well.
Yep.
Bitcoin. I mean, now based on the supply and the hype around Bitcoin, I'm surprised that Bitcoin is still not at 150,000 right now. I think right now Bitcoin is about 110,000.
Yeah, 110,000. Yep.
Yeah, $110,000. So I would say that Bitcoin should go up to $150,000 by this year. I think that's my forecast. Whether or not my forecast is right, I mean, so be it. But
sure.
Bitcoin, I'm holding a substantial amount of Bitcoin as well as spot positions. Sometimes I leverage, but sometimes leverage just for trading. Bitcoin is just for spot holding of Bitcoin is just to kind of have an alternative asset.
Sure.
Right. I would think of Bitcoin as having an alternative asset to park my money. Right? So if you have spare funds, right, you don't put your money in the bank, right, giving you 0.00025% per year, right?
Yep.
Put it in Bitcoin.
Sure.
Right. Bitcoin. I mean, you miss the 20K cycle, right? You miss the 60K cycle. Now it's 110K. Right? If you're still contemplating to buy whether or not to hold Bitcoin, probably you would cry again when it goes to 200K and so forth.
Yeah.
Right. Because I mean, we understand now. I understand the Bitcoin tokenomics, right? There is only a limited supply of Bitcoin, and of course now tokenomics wise, the more with a finite amount of supply of Bitcoin, right? The more people buying up Bitcoins, or the more Bitcoins that's out in circulation, right? The higher the price of the Bitcoin will go. So, yeah, Bitcoin more, and of course, a lot of countries and companies are also using Bitcoin. I think there is one country that is using crypto. I'm not sure about Bitcoin, but it's using crypto because I think that country faced a hyperinflation.
El Salvador.
I would say businesses and of course countries, they are slowly also widely adopting crypto. I think there is this bank in Singapore, DBS. DBS has also adopted crypto holdings and crypto trading.
Yes.
I think, but of course you need to be
accredited investor.
Yes. So I think more and more banks are. I think the other banks will follow suit. I think it's just a matter of time. But then of course we have to see if crypto is we have to see how widely used is it in Singapore. The other day I read an article in New York. right? Cafes are allowing Bitcoin QR codes. They have like QR codes for USDT or even Bitcoin payments.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
happening. It's happening. Right, bro. So that's great. So you're bullish. You really see a bullish forecast for the year and
Super
over
bullish.
the long term, right? Which is great. The next thing which I want to ask is this, right? So when obviously you have traded a good capital amount, you started from the bottom, right? There's a lot of people who are relatively new traders who will be watching this video, right? What are some very common pitfalls that new traders actually get into, and what should they avoid doing?
All right. So, number one, stay off those TikTok, right? Those. I mean, I hate to say it, right? I hate to say it, but education contents online, right? Sometimes they have like tips and tricks. A lot of times they only work for specific trading and conditions or trading environment. And if of course if you really want to learn trading, right? Of course you've probably tried TikTok, you've probably tried YouTube, watching tutorials and stuff, and you still don't understand it. It's most likely that you don't really fully understand the strategy, because whatever videos or techniques or tips that you see, right, it's only for that particular trading setup, right? And it's easy to find a particular trading setup and then show it works, right? But of course, there is so many. You have to get the trading strategy, right? Find a trading strategy that works across multiple trading conditions, multiple trading setups, and in order for you to be profitable. And of course, I think one of the way that you can learn trading is, of course, get a mentor, not just online, not just watching videos online and trying out for yourself. Get a mentor who can really guide you and help you in trading.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so that's very, very important. So again, don't just watch blind advice. Get a proper mentor in person who can really truly guide you, who has done it and been there before.
That's
right?
That's right.
Okay, great, fantastic. And bro, what has been let's talk about two things, right? Let's talk about one of your biggest trading or investing wins, right? And let's also talk about some of your biggest losses.
Whoa.
Right?
Whoa.
Yep.
Shit, that's deep, bro.
Which one you want to get into first?
Well, we'll talk about the wins first.
Okay, sure, let's go.
We'll get the losses later. I mean, there's quite an emotional
story.
That's quite an emotional story. I think my biggest wins was a 1 to 128 risk reward ratio. So we're just risking 1%. It's my portfolio went up 128% in just one trade.
What trade was that on?
That was on USD JPY. Right,
JPY pairs. It's always the JPY pairs.
Yeah, it's always the JPY pairs. Yeah. It's always the JPY pairs. USD JPY took a shot. I think it was 2 years back, right, when it was at an all-time high. I think at point of time they were speculating something about the interest rates, right? I think they were speculating something about interest rate. I think they were lowering the interest rates or something. At that point of time, right, I was trading on the weekly time frame, so I was like looking at the weekly time frame.
I see.
So my weekly time frame, my TP was all the way at the bottom of the weekly chart.
Okay.
Right, or weekly or monthly chart, or whatever it is. Right, I wasn't trading at the 4 hour time frame, because it was at an all time high.
Sure.
Right, it was like at the peak of the peak. My stop loss was just 20 pips. On of course, I mean I went to the 4 hour time frame to look at my stop loss. So my stop loss was just 20 pips. For context, right, 20 pips is really tiny.
Yeah, very tight.
Super tight. 10 or 20 pips, I can't remember. I think it was 10 pips or 20 pips. Super tight stop loss for for a weekly chart or a monthly chart trade. 10, 20 pips is super tight.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then of course we just took I just took a shot. So my take profit level is all the way at the bottom. Not really at the bottom. If it's all the way at the bottom, I could have made more money. But I always want to be conservative lah. Just a bit conservative, a little bit more conservative on my take profit level. So I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, I'm trading the 1 month chart, weekly chart, right? I shouldn't base my take profit level on the 4 hour time frame. Then I could have only captured so little profit.
Sure.
Right? If my analysis and my trade is on the 1 week time frame, 1 month time frame, I should aim big.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And of course I got it lah. But of course, I could have been more. Could have been more. But of course, I think overall, I'm quite happy with the results lah. So I think that was dollar amount. Dollar amount. I mean, for the gains on the dollar amount, I think that would be in the millions, bro. Yeah, that would be in the millions. It was it was a very, very good trade. Usually it would take me, probably 10 or 20 trades or something like that, to hit that, to hit $1 million, or even 40, 50 trades to hit $1 million, to hit multi-million dollars of profits, right? That one trade, it was so good. It was the best of the best ever.
Sure. Now let's go to the other side, bro. What was some of the biggest mistakes that you made?
Oh man. Okay. So the year was 20. When was it? When I was about 23 years old. So when the year was about 2021 or 2022, right? When I was about 23 years old. Now at that point of time, just now I shared with you, right? I was already managing investors funds since the age of 21 years old, right? So I'm currently 27 years old. So I have over, I think at that point of time was about $14 million in assets under management, 3-4 years back. So what happened was that it was a mistake on my part. So I was with a broker, and then of course I still remember it was Euro NZD. Can't remember what happened exactly on the New Zealand dollar. Price came down, slipped my stop loss. Stop loss was tight, right? Was the 20 pip stop loss. And of course, now the mistake was that I set my stop loss instead of 20 pips, it was 200 pips. So it was already 10 times more the amount of losses that I pre-planned for the trade. To make things worse, so just imagine, right? My stop loss is here and price is over here. Price is already like all the way down here already, right? At that point of time, I think I was on a flight or something like that. I couldn't check my phone. What happened was that when I landed, right, there was like some news or whatever, right? New Zealand dollar. So imagine I'm already in like heavy losses. I think it was like, sorry, not 200 pips. My stop loss was 100 pips instead of 20 pips, so it's like 5 times more. So it was already in the middle of losses already, right? So after that I was like, oh shit, should I close it or can I wait for it? So when now because I'm also human, right? I also have emotions, and dealing with that kind of money, right? You don't want to be wrong. The moment that you're wrong, that's it, right? Right? The moment that you make mistake. Yeah. So now I was thinking whether to cut loss. Because I set my stop loss too wide, and I'm risking, more than I'm supposed to, more than I'm comfortable with. Yep. So at that point, it was still fluctuating, in losses. And then of course the news came, Euro NZD slipped. It slipped another 300 pips. By the time my stop loss was triggered, I was heavily in losses. I was about 13 times. 13 risk, 13 amount of risk, or if 1 unit of risk is 1%, that's 13%. But of course, I was not risking 1% at a time. I was risking about 0.25% ish. So heavy losses. So yeah, I was down like 9% on one single trade. Right, 9% might not seem a lot, right? But I think on 16 million, 18 million kind of assets under management, 9%, it was a lot of money.
No, bro, that's a few million.
Yeah. It is a few million. It was about one plus million. Yeah. So but of course things happen. At that point of time, I remember myself, sitting at the toilet bowl. I was like, what the fuck should I do? Like what's going on now? Like, what's the next step? about like what $1.8 million just vanished. Right? How long do I have to recover it? At that point of time, I was sitting in the toilet bowl for probably like a good 1 hour and 30 minutes or something. I was like figuring out. I was in daze, right? I was like, oh, what should I do? Like, what should I tell my investors? Right? Everyone is gonna fuck me, and I'll be in deep shit. Should I just end it here? Should I just, pull the plug and just stop managing funds? Is that the end? And then of course, I contemplated, and then I was like, after I think 2 hours or something like that, after I come out from the toilet, I texted all my investors, explaining to them the losses. At that point of time, I didn't know what to do. So it was a big loss, and then after that, so the next thing I did was to also, after I explained to them what I've done, I checked my account. Right? I checked all the assets that I have. Found out that after we calculate everything, all the losses, it's about 1.8 mil, 1.8 mil to about 2 mil, something like that. I had to gather all my assets to kind of calculate how much I have, whether I have enough to pay them. So I wiped out, I would say, a good 80% of my entire assets.
Wow.
And of course, it just came out from my pocket lah. So because at that point of time, I have two choices, right? One, to compensate, because it was my mistake. And it was my mistake. Even though the contract clearly states that slippage and everything, I have it's written on in the contract that I wouldn't be liable for stuff and things like that. But I just felt that I had to take responsibility of the mistake that I've done. Right? I can't just say that hey, everything is on the contract, right? Then just like bye bye, right? If you wanna continue with me, continue with me, right? I think it's not right, and it's also really bad for reputation. So I fork out about 1.8, 1.9 ish mil. Pay every single of my investors off for that one trade lah. Get everything started running again. Took me a few months before I take my another trade, before I take my next trade, because it was traumatizing, right? It was really traumatizing. So it really took me a while to gain back that confidence to start trading again. Yeah, but it was
actually, I have there one question, right? So again, I think people who have trading for a while, who have experienced losses, who have I think losing money is one thing, but losing confidence is another altogether, right?
Yeah.
So when you share this story, I can see in your face, I can see in your emotions, right? That there was a confidence loss. How does one who is going through that kind of valley gain back their confidence, bro? What did it take for you to get back the confidence to start scaling up the numbers again, bro?
Yeah. So what I did when I had that big loss, that huge ass loss, was that I took it really slow, right? I took it really slow. So I wasn't, at a point of time, I wasn't trading investors' funds, right? I stopped trading investors' funds. I told them, hey, I'm just gonna stop for a few weeks or even months. I'll update you guys when I come back to manage your funds. But of course, if you want to withdraw your funds, that's up to you. But of course, I've paid everyone out already. So I think they are more than happy to keep their funds in. They saw that I was a very honest guy. So I was trading on my own personal account, right? And I wasn't risking a lot. So I was like risking half than my normal risk. And of course I slowly trade, and I was like starting out, I was like a bit hesitant, right? I was like, what if I make the same mistake again? So it's just about practicing small. Starting it's just like a reset, right? You start small again. And then of course you try to risk really small, try to take a few trades here and there, right? And then of course I gradually increase. It's just like taking the first step, but taking a small first step, right? And then of course it slowly lead to a bigger and bigger step. And then of course that is how you can start to get your confidence back, I would say. Yeah.
Interesting. So again, start small again.
Start small again,
and then
and slowly build it up.
slowly scale up
Yeah,
and
slowly
really
scale
get
up.
up again.
Yes.
I see. Yeah. Amazing, bro. Thanks for the advice, brother. I think that's very relatable,
Yeah.
right? And very admirable with regards to how you came back, how you compensated, and whatever else, right? So
Yeah.
amazing story, bro. Amazing, dude. So let's talk about markets. Let's talk about certain forecasts that you actually see in upcoming years, right? Like currently right now it's sitting at levels where the markets are at all-time highs. If we're talking about the S&P, if we're talking about Dow Jones, for example, we're all-time highs. Bitcoin is near all-time high, right? Generally it's okay. Altcoins are pretty shit, right? What are there any major predictions or any things that you actually see in the upcoming few months?
Well, I do see US dollar. I think US dollar has gone to shit, right?
Yeah, that's true.
US dollar is sitting at 1.27 against the Singapore dollar, right? I mean, it's gone to shit. Now, and of course, the reason why US dollar is shit is because they refuse to lower down the interest rates.
I see.
Right, because now interest rates is at I think if I'm not wrong, is at 4.25% currently. Right, and of course, Donald Trump has been barking at Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve chairman. Right, Donald Trump has been barking at Jerome to lower the interest rates. Right, because now if you don't lower interest rates, right, the cost of borrowing will be more. Right, you want to buy a house, you want to take a student loan. People will be less willing to spend because the cost of borrowing is just so much, right? So now it really slows down the economy, right, because of the interest rates, and of course the US dollar is also slowing down because of the interest rates. Now, the moment they lower the interest rates, right, they make cost of borrowing easier, more affordable for everyone. People can buy a house, people can buy a car, people can take loans to start a business or to take loans to expand a business. Then of course, then the economy will be going at probably at a faster pace, probably at 100%. I think right now, because interest rates is discouraging people from spending money, from taking loans.
Sure.
Right, that really affects the US dollar. So I think interest rates won't be at its high for too long. I think hopefully this year, I think by the end of this year, I think in the next coming of months, hopefully Donald Trump can bark at Jerome Powell hard enough that he lower the interest rates. Of course, let's see how it goes. But of course, then again, there is the conflicts in Syria, in Israel and Iran, with Israel and Gaza as well. Of course, and then of course the war is still ongoing in Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. The whole world has gone to nuts, bro.
The
whole world has gone to nuts. Of course. So this kind of geopolitical tensions, right? They really I mean, technically, US dollar should strengthen because now US dollar is a global reserve currency. But of course, then again, US dollar is kind of indirectly involved with this, with these military escalations, right? US is supplying Ukraine previously with weapons and fundings. Now US is funding Israel, giving them weapons and stuff, right? So I mean. In an investor standpoint, right, will I want to invest or buy a currency that has high interest rates and is also indirectly and actively involved in wars, right? And of course, that is what is keeping the US dollar at such a low price right now, right? The sell pressure is insane. But hopefully, I think once interest rates, I think interest rates is one of the major cock block, I would say, for the strength of the US dollar. So I think once interest rates is lowered, I think US dollar would come back up to at least 1.32. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, huh?
Yeah.
But then again, that's probably September or so, lah, right?
Probably, yeah.
Probably September where
Probably
we might
September.
expect a drop and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting, bro. Thanks for your insights, brother.
No worries.
Right,
no
so
worries.
you do see a possible hopeful rebound
Yes,
if interest
of
rate do
course.
drop. If that happens, lah, right?
Of course.
So again, let's see, man. Let's see. I'm also hoping for the best, right? I hold a whole ton of US dollar investments myself, right?
Yeah.
So definitely a good dollar would definitely help, lah, for sure.
Of course.
Right, dude. So to end off, right? To end off the entire episode, dude, I really appreciate all your insights, your stories, sharing all this vulnerable stuff. I highly, truly appreciate it, right? But again, one last piece of advice you'd give to new traders or even experienced traders who are watching, who really want to achieve excellence, right? Who possibly want to make this a full-time thing for themselves, right? To be able to have the autonomy of time and, the life of their dreams, being able to trade and make a living on a full-time basis. What's the one piece of final piece of advice you give to them?
Trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I know you probably heard about it, this saying many countless times. But you really have to grind hard at the beginning, right? The first year, first 2 years, you really have to grind hard. You really have to find a trading style or trading strategy that work for you. Subsequent years is going to be easier and easier. And then of course, once you get a hang of it, right, it's just going to be, you can really, lead the kind of a dream lifestyle, buy your dream house, buy your dream car, whatever. But of course, the first few years, it's going to be the hardest thing that you ever do. So don't give up.
Don't give up, and essentially the essence of what you said was, don't give up in the first few years and really find a trading style that suits you.
Of course.
Okay, amazing. I think that's a golden piece of advice, which I always preach about as well. I think that's super important. Right. So again, guys, I hope you guys found it useful. One last thing: how do people find you? Reach out to you and stuff.
Do follow me on my Instagram, wx.chu, the one with the verified tick. All right, I have a lot of impersonations.
Yes.
Scammers.
Surely.
So many.
Yeah.
So Instagram is where I'm most active. My TikTok is also the same username, wx.chu.
Okay.
All right. That one is not verified, but I will get it verified soon.
Sure. Amazing. So again, please make sure you all follow him on Instagram if you want to. But again, please be watchful for any impersonators. And again, before I end off the video, guys, whatever that we actually shared today is not a financial advice, right? So a very big disclaimer that everything that he shared is his own personal feelings, his own personal take. So again, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the interview. If you all have questions for Wei Xiang, please do ask him in the comment section. I'm sure he'll actually be more than happy to actually reply you guys as well. Until then, thank you very much. See you. Goodbye.
See you.
Hey guys, I'm so blessed to be able to share these inspiring stories of remarkable people with you. Please support us by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our YouTube channel, right? These likes will help us know what videos you want to watch more of. So again, thank you and see you in another video.